Task 3 is usually ask you to find the mistakes. It will give you a long code, ask you to find the mistakes and correct the mistakes. Task 3 is a mathematics program. The program creates 10 questions. Each question is created by generating 2 random integers between 1 and 50 inclusive, and we do an addition. So the program outputs a question, allow the user to input their answer, and outputs the user's total mark, the number of correct answers. It will alter the output based on one or multiple correct answers are given. Okay, I know there are many steps, but later when I show you the code, we will do it step by step. Now, if both random integers are greater than 25, the user will get 2 marks. Otherwise, the user get 1 mark. If the user enters a correct answer, the total mark is incremented by the correct amount. That means it's either increased by 2 or by 1. And the text correct is stored in a list. Otherwise, the text incorrect is stored in the list. When all the questions have been answered, the list is searched to count how many times correct is stored. Okay, so basically, it's a program that generates random numbers, add it up. Right? They will ask user for answer. If the user answers correctly, I will increase the score. Otherwise, I don't increase the score. Okay? And the program is on page 7. Okay, so this is the program. You will be given this program during the exam, and there's only one question under this task 3 to identify and correct the errors. And this question carries 10 marks. Okay, so I have studied all the past year programs from the first year in 2018 to last year 2023. Task 3 is always asking you to find errors and correct the errors. And it's always 10 marks, and it always has 10 mistakes. Okay, so when you do task 3, make sure you can find 10 mistakes. Okay, so this is the code given by the question. Okay, well, we can go through the code quickly, then we will look for the mistakes. Okay, so first in post random, we will generate 10 questions. There's an answer list, right? Then we will keep track how many correct answers, how many incorrect answers, the total mark. Right? And here is the for loop to generate the 10 questions. So we'll get 2 random integers, add it up, ask user for input. They will check whether it's correct, right? Then we will increase the marks, change the list, right? And after that, we will output the message. Okay, so this is basically the program. We will look at the errors line by line. Okay, so questions equal to 10. We are going to have 10 questions, right? So this line is correct. Answer list bracket. This is definitely not correct, right? There is no such syntax. So answer list, I suppose it stores all the answers or stores something. It should start with an empty list, right? So this is equal to empty. That means I'm creating a new list, empty list. Okay. And I shared just now that there are usually 10 mistakes for 10 marks. Okay, so let's keep track. This is the number 1 mistake we found. Right? We need to add the equal. Okay, and when we start, the number of correct answers, incorrect answers, or the total mark are all 0, which is correct. Right? Okay. Now for x in this range, questions minus 1. If we are going to generate 10 questions, it should be for x in range 10. Right? It shouldn't minus 1. Okay, so this is the second mistake. Remove minus 1. Okay, this is our number 2. Okay, so we will get a random integer from 1 to 50, get another random integer from 1 to 50, number 1 and number 2, right? If you remember the question, okay, the question says that it will generate 2 random integers between 1 and 50 inclusive. Okay, now come back. Random int will generate a random integer inclusive between the minimum and maximum. So this is correct. Okay. Next, okay, user answer equal to number 1 plus number 2. Once we have the 2 numbers, we will add it up, but this result is calculated by the program. It's not the answer provided by the user, right? So this is suspicious, but we don't know yet. We just feel that this shouldn't be user answer because this is calculated by the program. Okay, so I will just add a mark here. You know that this is suspicious. You can come back later. Okay. Next, I'm going to print what is number 1 plus number 2. Okay. Then user answer equal to input. So these 2 lines is that we are printing the question. We want user to give us an answer. Right. So this shows us that user answer is the user's input. So this line is definitely not user answer. Okay. But we don't know what we need to change this to. Okay. So just leave it. Okay, once user give us an input, now we're going to check, is user answer equal to answer? I'm going to check whether it's correct. So this shows us that answer is the correct answer. And this line, the user answer, we need to change it to answer. Right? Okay, we ask the program to calculate the answer, then we ask user to input. After we compare whether they are equal. So this is our number 3. Now look at this line, input. Remember that anything the user input is a string, right? It's not a number. So this is a string. where this answer is a number because we did the addition. We can't compare a string and a number. Okay, so this input, we need to convert it to an integer. Right? Once we convert it integer, we can compare it with answer. And this is our number 4. Now, if user answer equal to answer, that means it's a correct answer. I'll need to increase the mark, right? Now I need to check if number 1 is greater than 25 or number 2 is greater than 25. I'm going to increase the total mark by 2. I'll add correct to the answer list. Else, I'll increase the total mark by 1. Okay, now go back to the question. If both random integers are greater than 25, the user gets 2 marks. Okay, we need to make sure both integers are greater than 25. So it shouldn't be a nor here. It shouldn't be an or here. This should change to and, right? If both are greater than 25, I'll increase total mark by 2. So this is our 5th mistake. Okay, this is number 5. If both are greater than 25, I'll increase the total mark by 2. I will add correct to the answer list. Oh, so now we know that answer list keeps track whether the user gave a correct answer or incorrect answer, right? Else, we can only increase total mark by 1, okay? But it is still a correct answer. So we still need to do this line. Okay, so I'll copy this line. I'll put it here. Okay, and this is number 6. And this if else is when the user gave a correct answer. Else, if the user doesn't give a correct answer, we won't increase the total mark, right? And we'll just add incorrect to the answer list. Okay, so far this is correct. Okay, what else do we need to do? Okay, now we are going to get the length of answer list minus 1. Okay, this is definitely not correct because answer list, that's a list, right? You use list to minus 1, that doesn't make sense at all. Okay, all we need to do is to get the length of the list. So we'll remove this minus 1. I'll get the length of the answer list. So that's the total number of answers that the user provided. Okay, so this is number 7. Right? Okay, now for I in this range list length, okay, if answer list X. Okay, you can see here is I, here is X. It's definitely not correct, right? So this can only be I. Okay, and this is number 8. Right? If answer list I is correct, remember what did we add to answer list? We add correct or incorrect, right? If this is correct, that means that's one more correct answer from the user. And we need to increase correct by 1, not decrease. So change minus to plus. And this is number 9. So for I in this range, that means I'll go through the answer list. If I see a correct, I'll increase correct by 1. Now the last few lines, we have found 9 mistakes, right? There's one more mistake to go. Okay, if message equal to 1, okay, so far we haven't seen message at all, right? All the code there is no message. Okay, if message equal to 1, then message equal to answer. Else message equal to answers. Looks weird, right? Now look at the last line. Print, your total mark is this, and you have this number of correct answer or answers. I mean, if I have 1 correct answer, it will be you have 1 correct answer. If you have multiple correct answers, it will be you have maybe 3 correct answers, right? So this one shouldn't be message. This should be correct, right? If correct equal to 1, that means I only answer correctly once. I will use answer. Otherwise, I will use answers. Okay, so this is our number 10. Okay, so that is task 3.